Namaste. Good evening, everyone. I welcome Dr. Rahul Kulkarni sir, HOD, PG Department, Ayurveda Samhitha Siddhanta, GMC Mysuru. I welcome all the teaching faculty of GMC Mysuru, and I welcome all the students, UGs, PGs, practitioners, and all the Ayurveda Vidyabhilashis who are eagerly waiting for listening this webinar series. I welcome you all wholeheartedly. Sir, please proceed with the session. Sir.
Okay. Thank you, Bharat. I will continue with my proceedings. Good evening, one and all. So again, I will welcome to you on the Tatvaprabodhini, the 4th day session on Kalpa sthana. Till the previous day or previous session, we have completed up to Vatsaka Kalpa in the Vamana Kalpas, and the last chapter in Vamana Kalpa section is Krutavedana Kalpadhyaya, the 6th chapter of Kalpasthana. Krutavedana namani kalpam cha asya nibodayet. The kalpas with related to the Krutavedana are going to be explained, and before that you want to just mention the synonyms. Shvedaha koshataki cha uktaha mrudanga phalameva cha. The synonyms are Shveda, koshataki and mrudanga phala. If you can see, these are the images of this Krutavedana, and generally we call it as a rich gold or hirekai in Kannada, and we use this as a vegetable, and it becomes vamaka with the processing and kalpa conditions, and that all kalpas are we are going to discuss in the coming shlokas or slides. So the indications and the properties of Krutavedana: atyartha katu tichnoshnam gada vishtam gadeshu cha kushta pandvayamayam pliha shofa gulmo daradishu. Here it is atyartha katu and tikshna and ushna. So generally vamaka dravyas are ushna and tikshna, but this Krutavedana is mentioned as atyartha katu tikshna ushna, means it is having the ushna and tikshna utkarsha bhavas compared to other vamaka dravyas. Gade vishnum gadeshu cha, that will go with kushta pandvamai pliha shofa gulma udaradishu. Means this is used in the case of kushta pandu, pliha, shofa, gulma and udara rogas which have been deeply seated. Gade vishnum gadeshu cha. Here it is related with the diseases which are deeply seated. Then in that condition, this Krutavedana is most beneficial in form of Vamana Kalpas. Then it starts with the Kshira Kalpas. So just in the very beginning only I have said, in the 2nd chapter, it is Jimutaka, how the Kshiras has been prepared from the Pushpa and Phalas. Similarly, the same thing has to be continued or considered here. Kshiradi Kusumadinam Sura Cheteshu Purovat, means how it has been said in Jimutaka Kalpadhyaya. The similar procedures has to be adopted. For that, again the reference here is given is Paya Pushpeyasya Nyurutte Phale Peya Payaskrutaha. Like that way, in the 2nd chapter of Kalpasthana with related to Jimutaka Kalpa, if you are thorough and familiar with how the Kshira Kalpas has to be prepared, the same procedure has to be followed here as well, and this Kshira has to be used in Pitta Pradhana associate condition where the kapha has to be eliminated. Then he explains about Shushka Phala use. Shushkanam tu jirnanam ekam dveva yatabalam kashayir madukadinam navabhi kalpavat pibet. So the Shushka Phalas and Jirna Phalas dveva yata ekam va dveva yatabalam. One or the two dried, completely matured, dried fruits of this Krutavedana, the powder has to be taken and it has to be used with the Kashaya of Maduka and Kovidara Karbudaradi 8 dravyas which have been mentioned repeatedly from chapter 1. So that makes the 9 Kashaya yogas here. Kohatayitva phalam tasya putvam leham nidapayet. The next kalpa what he says is, take the complete phala which is Jirna and Shushka, then make the kwath of it, strain it, that is filter it, and then again according to the leha preparation go with paka karma. When leha siddhi lakshanas are there, then you consider the kruta vedana leha. Then he says kruta vedana kalkamsham palardamsha sanyuktam. So kruta vedana kalkamsham falardam ardhamsha sanyuktam पृथक् आरग्वदादीनां त्रयोदशभिर asutam. Means here one part of kruta vedana and half part of faladi, that is madana phala, jimutaka, ikshvaku, etc. The bijas of them has to be taken and it has to be prepared into the kashaya and it has to be used. Or pruthak cha aragvadadinam trayodashabhir asutam, means the aragvadadi dravyas which have been said earlier, all those 13 drugs, the kata has to be prepared separately, and with that kata, the churna of this kruta vedana has to be administered for vamana kalpa, sorry, vamana karma. So these all, whenever you are using kashayas, most of the time where kapha utklishta avastha is there, and more of the time pitta and vata are in alpa avastha. Pradhana kapha utklishta avastha, the kashayas has to be given, whereas leha etc. has to be given in pittanubandha avastha, ghruta etc. has to be given in vatanubandhi avastha. Then one more special kalpa with Kruta Vedana he explains is about using or adding the picha. So, Shalmali Moola Churnanam Pichabir Dashabis Tataha. So here, along with these kashayas, the Shalmali Moola Churna has to be added. So see, what are these 10 dravyas? The churna of the moola will be abundant with the picha. Picha means it is a cellulose material which will be adding slimminess to the preparations. Shalmali Shalmaka Bhadraparne Ela Parni Upodika Uddhala Dhanvan Rajadana Upachitraga and Gopyaha. So up to from Shalmali up to Gopyaha, that is Gopya means Sariva. The moola of these things which will be rich in the picha, so those has to be used for the preparation of kashaya and added in the kashaya and to be administered for vamana karma. Varti kriya shat phalavat phaladinam ghrutam tata. Again the same thing has been repeated. So that in case of madana phala, how the varti kriya or varti kalpa has been prepared, similarly the churna has to be taken and the kashaya has to be taken, then it has to be heated up to becoming the consistence in such a way that that kalka can be converted into varti and can be dried and stored. And phaladinam ghrutam yattataha. How the ghruta is prepared? 1 part kalka, 4 part ghruta, and 16 part jala has to be taken, and from there sneha shesha paka has to be done. So that will make the ghruta kalpana. Here instead of madana phala pippali, the kruta vedana kalka has to be taken with 1 part and 4 parts of sneha and 16 part. When no other dravya has been mentioned, it has to be taken jala. But here it is better that if Kruta Vedana Kashaya itself is used, it will enhance the potency of the Ghruta which is to be used for Vamana purpose. And when it is said as Ghruta, so it is where Vata is also aggravated in the Sharira along with Utklishta Kapha, so that this Vata can counteract this Ghruta can counteract the Vruddha Vata and further aggravation of Vata is prevented due to the Vamana Karma. So this is best used in case of Utklishta Kapha and along with where Vata Vruddhi is there in the Rogi. In that condition, such Ghrutas can be effectively used to counteract the Vata Vruddhi. Koshatikānāni panchashat kovidara rase pachet tam kashayam phaladīnām kalkairleham punam pachet. Now 15 koshataki phalas has to be taken and the kovidaradi, the 8 dravyas, the katha, in that it has to be subjected for pachana. Tam kashayam phaladinam kalkairleham punam pachet. Then along with that kashaya, the 6 vamaka dravya, that is Madanaphala, Jimutaka, Ikshwaku, Dhamargava, Vatsaka, and even Kruta Vedana. The kalka has to be taken with this kashaya and it is subjected for pachana till it becomes the consistency of leha, and this leha can be administered for proper vamana purpose. स्वेदस्य त्रयभागः स्यात् शेषाणाम् अर्धांशिकानि तु कषायैः कोविदारैर्दैरेव तत् कल्पयेत् पुनः. Means again what he says, स्वेदस्य त्रयभागः, three times parts of sweda, that is the synonym of krutavedana, स्यात् शेषमाणां शासनानाम ardhamshikani tu. Shashnanam ardhamshikani tu means the six vamaka dravyas, half the part each. So they becomes equivalent to the shweda. Three part shweda and each of the six half part means it will become equivalent to the shweda. Kashayahi kovidarairdeva tat kalpayet prutak. Again it has to be given with kovidaradi kashaya. So that will help for vamana purpose. कषायेषु फलादीनाम् आनूपं पिशितं पृथक् कोशात्यक्य समं पक्त्वा रसं सलवणं पिबेत्. Now this is one mamsarasa prayoga which has been advised, where in case of faladinam kashaya, so means with the six vamaka dravya kashaya separately, anupa pishitam pruthak, the anupa mamsa koshatakam samam paktva, equal quantity of koshataki, that is krutavedana kalka, anupa mamsa, then the 4 times of the kasha has to be taken and it has to be subjected for mamsa rasa pak. Koshatakam samam paktva rasam salavanam pibet. When the mamsa rasa becomes siddha, it has to be added with lavana and has to be administered. So again this mamsa rasa where we are using in case of vata vruddhi lakshanas can be seen along with the kafaja vikaras. So this mamsa rasa and gruta etc. and tail etc. were used where the anubandhi vata is there to prevent the excessive aggravation of vata. These kalpas can be most effectively can be used for vamana purpose. Faladi pippali tulyam tadvat shvedarasam pibet. So with the faladi pippali tulyam, equal quantity of madana phala pippali, the shvedarasam tadvat pibet. Similarly, the krutavedana sarasa along with madana phala pippali has to be consumed for vamana purpose. Shvedam kasi pibet siddham mishrim ikshu rasenache. The shveda rasa means the krutavedana swarasa added with mishri or ikshu rasa, which can be used effectively in case of kasa roga. Shvedam kasi pibet siddham mishrim ikshu rasenache. So this is where the krutavedana kalpa sankhya has been said. Shire do sura chaikam kwatham dvadimshas tataha dasha pitcha grutam chaikam shashtam cha vartikriya. It goes on explaining the total number of kalpas, that is 60 kalpas have been explained with respect to krutavedana. That is 4 kshiras, 1 sura, 22 kwatha and 10 with pitcha, the chunas of those Shalmalayadi, Moolas, 1 Ghutak preparation, 6 Varti Kalpas, 8 Lehas, 7 Mamsas, and Ikshurasa 1. So, totally the 60 of the Kalpas or yogas have been mentioned with Kruta Vedana. So, this is where the 6 chapters of Kalpasthana, where the Vamaka Kalpas have been explained, will end with this chapter. So, it can be summarized as total number of yoga sankhya's with respect to individual vamaka dravya: Madanaphala 133, Jimutaka 39, Ikshwaku 45, Dhamargava 60, Vatsaka 18, and lastly Krutavedana 16. Totally they make up to 355 vamaka yogas out of Shad Virechana Chatachritya Sankhya's. That is, out of 600 vamaka virechaka or shodhaka yogas which have been explained in Kalpasthana, 355 yogas are representing with the Vamana Kalpas. So here, from Roga Bisajiti Adhyaya, Vimana Adhyaya, we can take one very small summary about the entire of this Vamana karmas and all the things. Yani tu kala Vamanadishu Bheshal Dravyan Upayogam Gachanti Tan Anuvyakhyasyameha. So this is where the Purva Paksha, where in case of Vimanasthana, which has been said earlier to the Kalpasthana, where in short he explains about the contents of this sixth chapter of Kalpasthana. Tad yala yada phala jimutaka ikshvaku dhamargava kutaja kruta vedhana phalani. Means six of these Vamaka Dravya starting from Madana Phala up to Kruta Vedana. Phala Jimutaka Ikshvaku Dhamargava Patra Pushpani. So with this Phala Jimutaka Ikshvaku Dhamargava Patra Pushpani Aragvada Vrukshaka Madana Swadu Kantaka etc. Saha Dravyas, that is Anya Dravyas which can be used for Kashaya preparation or other Avaleha preparation or whatever else the different Kalpa preparation. Madhuka, Kovidara, Karbudara, Nipu, Vidula, Bimbi, etc. This Kovidara, Karbudara we generally see in all the 6 chapters. Starting from Madanaphala up to Krutavedana, the 8 Kashayas which are predominantly said are with this Kovidara, Karbudara, the Kashaya, where the Churna or Kalpa in the Matra has to be mixed and administered for Vamana purpose. Then Ela, Harenu, Priyangu, Prithvika, Kustumbara, Agarodis, etc. till Shringavera, Sarshapaka, Fanita, etc. These are other dravyas which are also additives for or prakshepaka in the different kalpas of these Vamanas. Then what he says, Yatha labham yateshtam va api susamskrutya varti kriya churna avaleha sneha kashaya mamsarasa yavagu yusha. So these are all the different kalpas whichever can be prepared or whichever are been mentioned in kalpasthana. So varti kriya churna avaleha sneha kashaya mamsarasa till what he says is bhakshan prakaran vividhan anuvidhaya. So different type of bhaksha kalpanas also been mentioned, that is pathya kalpanas where we can say that as utkarika, modaka, pupa, shashkuli, etc. based on the bhakti of the patient which can be administered. So this one reference from Roga Bhishakiti Vimana Adhyaya will entirely summarize whatever is there in the first 6 chapters of the Kalpasthana, only excluding the number of yogas with respect to Vamaka Dravya. That has not been mentioned here. Rest all the things has been summarized here. And what he says, Kalpeshu Vistarena Uttara Kalam Upadekshamyaha. Iti Kalpa Sangreho Vamana Dravyanam Kalpeshameva Vistarena Uttara Kalam Upadekshamyaha means, so this is Purva Paksha for the Kalpasthana, where in short it has been explained and the details have been discussed in last 3 days with Kalpasthana, the first 6 chapters. So this ends the first 6 chapters of Kalpasthana, and next 6 chapters of the Kalpasthana are dedicated for the Virechana Kalpas, which will start with the Shama Trivrut Adhyaya, and we'll start with the Shama Trivrut Adhyaya. The 7th chapter in the Kalpasthana is Shama Trivrut Kalpadhyaya. So here the name itself indicates that there are 2 types of drugs, one Shama and Trivrut. So what are those and how the Kalpas and all others have been explained, we will see in the coming slides. Virechane Trivrut Moolam Shreshtam Ahur Manishinaha Tasya Sadnyam Gunam Karma Bhedam Kalpascha Vakshate. At the very beginning of this chapter, he says, Virechane Trivurut Moolam Sreshtam has been said. Because just like in Madanaphala, how it is Sreshta in Vamaka Dravyas, Trivurut Moola or Trivurut or Shama, they are Sreshta in case of Virechana Karma. That is why he is going to explain Shama Trivurut Kalpas at the beginning of the Virechaka Kalpas. त्रिभाण्डी त्रिवृत्ता चैव श्यामा कूटरणा ततः सर्वानुभूति सुवह शब्दैः पर्याय वाचकैः. So synonyms of this Shama and Trivrut: Tribhandi, Trivrutta, Shama, Kutaranaha, Sarvanubhuti, Suvaha. These are the synonyms used for Shama and Trivrut at different contexts. Wherever such references are there it has to be considered as Shama or Trivrut. त्रिवृत्तया विरेचन द्रव्यस्य सुख विरेचनतयः प्राधान्यत्वं त्रिवृत्कल्पम एव अभिधीयते. So now why it becomes Sreshta and why it deserves first place among the Virechaka Dravyas is Trivrutaya Virechana Dravyasya Sukha Virechanatayaha. Means that doesn't mean that others are Dukha Virechaka, but relatively this is most comfortably producing the Virechana in the Rogis. Hence, Trivrut has been explained at the beginning. Next he says, Yad api cha aruna mulaiva Trivrut utkrushto vaktavyaha. So now we are having two types of Trivrut here. One is Shama and another one is Trivrut. Shama is having a different features in its Mula, whereas Trivrut is having different feature in their Mula which we are collecting and using. Aruna Mulai Trivrut Utkrushtaha Vaktavyaha Tatha Api Adhyaya Saudnyas Shamayaha. So it is called as Shama in case of this chapter. Agre Pathena Ashudosha Hantutaya Shamayaha Prakarsho Darshayati. But when you see Shama and Trivrut, so there is a difference between the color in the roots and their efficacy as well. Whereas Trivrut, which is mild and soft purgative, whereas this Shama, which is Tichna purgative in nature, but why it is considered first at the explanation or it is called as Shama Trivrut is Ashudosha Hantrutayaha. So it spontaneously, with most rapid effect, it eliminates the doshas from the sharira, even consideration with the Trivrut. See, Virechene ityadau Trivrut Moola Shabdena Shama Moolaya Aruna Moolascha. So whenever if it is only said as Trivrut, the Shama or Moola has to be taken, which the outer color of the Moola is Aruna Varanayukta. कषाय मधुरः रूक्षः विपाके कटुका च स कफपित्त प्रशमनि रौक्षा च अनिल कोपनी च. So this is C, where we say about this Virechana Kalpa, all with the guna karmas have been explained in the first chapter of this Kalpa sthana. Ushna, Tikshna, Vavai, all the factors have been explained. But added with that, here he says, Kashaya Madhura Ruksha Vipako Katuka Chasa. The properties are Kashaya, Madhura Rasayukta, Ruksha Guna, and Katu Vipaki in nature. So, Kapha Pitta Prashamanihi. These Shama and Trivrut, which are Kapha Pitta Shamaka in nature, Rokshacha Anila Kopani. Due to the Utkrishta Ruksha Guna in it, it is Vata Prakopaka in nature. Now the question comes, the Shama Trivrut is Ruksha in nature, it is Vata Prakopaka, then it is used for Virechana. Virechana is one of the Karshana karma, and due to Karshana, again Vata gets Prakupita. So whether it can be used in Vata associated conditions or not, so for that the explanation is given that स इदानीम औषधैर्युक्तः वात पित्त कफापैः. sa idanim aushada yuktam means this Shama Trirut, even though they are Kapha Pitta Shamaka and Vata Vardhaka in nature, if they are processed with the other Aushada Dravyas, such as here, what it is doing is Vata Vardhana or Anila Kopana. Now, if you add Vata Shamaka Dravyas to the Kalpas, Sa Idani Aushadair Yuktaha. Vata Pitta Kapapaihi. It is going to pacify Vata, Pitta and Kapha. That is Tridosha Shamaka. So with this type of preparation, you can effectively use Shama Trivrut in case of Vatanubandhi also. Kalpa Masadhyaha Sarvarogahara Bhavet. So based on different Vishesha Kalpas, this Shama Trivrut becomes effective in all types of disorder. That is Sarvarogahara Bhavet Kalpa Vaisheshu. So with different types of Kalpa preparation, this Shama or Trivrut will be helping to relieve all the diseases and Tridosha Shamaka. So that makes it one of the best Virechaka Dravya for the utility. See, Sedanam Ityadi here, what is Idanimi Ityadi means Vatapaha Aushada Yogena Vatahantrutvad Vidyamanam Bhavati. See, when it is Anila Kopaka, so if you add with Vata Hara Dravyas and Yogas are prepared, it also gets the efficacy of Vata Harana. Kapha Hantrittam Vidyamanam Adhikam Bhavatiti Jnaha. So here, when you process it, again it becomes more effective in relieving Vata Pitta Kapha, that is Tridosha Shamaka. Now he explains two types of this Shama and Trivrut, how to differentiate and identify. Moolam tu Dvividam tu Asyaha, that is two types of Moola can be seen in case of Shama and Trivrut. Based on that only, they have said as Shama and Trivrut. Shamam cha Aruna Mevacha Tayor Mukhyataram Vidhi Moolam Yad Aruna Prabham. So Shama and Aruna Varna. So one which is in dark complexion and one which is in Aruna Varna. These are the two types of Moola which are available. And these both, among them, the Aruna Prabha Yukta, that is what we call it as Trivrut. Shama is Ashu Dosha Haranatva Tikshna, whereas this Trivrut, which is Mrudu compared to this Shama, Sukumaro Shisho Vruddho Mrudu Koshtete Tat Shubham. The Aruna Varana Yukta Moola, which can be used in Sukumara, Shisho means in Balya Avastha as well, Vruddhe Mrudu Koshtecha Tat Shubham. Generally, these Shodhana karmas are not advised in Shishu, Vruddha, etc. But due to its gentleness and softness or mildness, this can be used in Sukumara, Shishu, Vruddha, and even in case of Mrudu Koshta, it is very much good and beneficial. Tat Shubham. What if you take about Shama? Mohad Ashukaritvat Shama Chinvanti Murchayet. Mohet, it creates moha. Ashukaritvat Shamam Chinvanti Murchayet. So this due to Ashukari property of Shama, the one variety of this Virechaka Dravya, it is going to lead moha in the person. Kshinvanti means dhatu kshinata will be happening and murchayet, the person get murchita. Taikshnat karshati hrutkantamashum dosham harati. Due to tikshnata, it will lead for karshana in Hridaya and Kantha Pradesha. But what it does is Ashum Dosham Haratyapi. So it is going to relieve the dosha in a very short time. Shashyate Bahu Doshanam Krura Koshtacha Ye Naraha. So this is more effective in Bahu Dosha and Krura Koshta. Now, whenever you want to administer Virechana and if you want to use Trivrut, so always we have to think about these two, that is Shama and Trivrut. So this Trivrut, the roots which are of Aruna Varana, So that can be effectively used in Sukumara, Shishu, Vruddha, and Mrudu Koshta. So whereas this Shama, which is Tikshna in nature and Ashudosha Harana property, that is best effective in case of Bahudosha and Krura Koshta. So they should not be used in vice versa manner. So if it is used, this Shama will lead for Atiyoga Lakshanas in the Sukumaras, Vruddhas, Mrudu Koshtas, and Shishus, whereas this Trivrut may lead for Hina Yoga and it may not be able to eliminate the doshas or initiate to the Samyak Yoga Vegas in the Rogi with Krura Koshta. So one has to be very much precise of which type of Shama or Trivrut you are using based on the condition of the person whom you are advising. This one of the precaution has to be taken while selecting the Trivrut Mula in the form of Shama or Trivrut. Now he says, Gunavatam Tayor Bhumau Jatam Moolam Samudhare. Means in a properly that is ideal land where these Shama or Trivrut Mula you are going to collect, you have to go and collect and the root has to be unearthed. Samudhare, it has to be plucked from the ground. Uposha Prataha Shukle Shuklavasa Samahitaha. Means one day earlier the Vruta has to be performed, that is Upavasa and other Vrutas has to be performed, and on the next day morning in the Shukla Paksha, that is and Shukla Vasa, one has to wear clean white and fresh clothes, and in Shukla Paksha in the early morning performing the Vrutadis on earlier night, then he has to go and collect the medicine. Which type of root has to be collected is Gambhiranugatam, which have been penetrated deep into the earth, Shlakshnam, Anati Tiryag Visrutam Chayat, means the roots have been straightly penetrated into the ground and deeply penetrated, means irregularly having twisted, roots should not be collected. But once you pick it, and if you find such Tirag Visruta roots, they should be avoided. Tad Vipatyam Vipatet Garbham Twacham Shushkam Nidapayet. Now once you pluck the root or extract the root from the ground and you clean it, then make a cut on the skin of that root, and the internal garbha means the sara of the root has to be removed. That garbha means the internal pith, what we say, that has to be removed, and only the moola tvacha has to be taken and it has to be kept for drying in a proper place. So once it is dried, it has to be powdered and used for the purposes. Here, he explains in very short how to administer the Virechana Dravya. Snigdha Swinno Virechastu Peya Matra Ushitaha Sukham. So just we have to know about the Purva Karmas. So Snehana Swedana, that is Abhyantara Snehapana, then Swedana has to be done. So this Snehana, when Samyak Snigdha and Swinna and Snigdha and Swinna Lakshanas are seen, then just like how you give for that 3 days Vishrama Kala, Abhyanga and Sweda, the same thing has to be performed here also. So in Samyak Snigdha Lakshanas, Abhyanga and Sweda has to be performed, and one day earlier to the Vamana Karma, how Kapha Utkleshaka Aharas are being given. Here it is not Kapha Utkleshaka Ahara, Peyadi Matra Ushitaha. Simply the Peyadi Dravyas or light food has to be given. So because here we are not desiring to Kapha Utkleshana or Pitta Udreka, simply it has to be given with Lagu Ahara. And overnight, after the digestion of the food, in the early morning, this Virechana has to be given. Peya matra ushita iti purvadine peya matra aharataya ushitaha. Clearly he says, peya matra ushite means on the earlier day, the person has to be kept on Peyadi Kalpas or Patya Kalpas, which are light to digest, and by next day morning, it gets completely digested. Kinchid ayameva tadvachanat. Snigdha ushna mamsa rasa sadhitam cha kriyamanam. So, Kinchid ayameva tadvachanat. By according to this statement and earlier statement, Snigdha ushna mamsa rasadi sadhitam cha kriyamanah. Wherein for Vamana karma, the Kaphotleshkara, Ahara, etc. are given, न पूर्वोक्त स्नेहवद द्रव उष्ण मांस रस ओदन viruddho bhavati. So here it is not going to oppose the statement what has been given in Purva Karma or Purva Dina Ahara Yojana of Vamana Kalpas or Vamana Karmas. Because the purpose of that Purva Dina Ahara Kalpana in Vamana Karma is for Kapha Utkleshana. But as here there is no such requirement of Kapha Utkleshana or Pitta Udrechana. So simple diet which is light to digest has to be given, and once in the morning it is identified or it is assessed that the food consumed in the night has been digested, the Virechana Kalpas has to be administered. Here even the Akantapana and such process are not being followed. It has to be given on Rikta Kosta. Only I assess whether the earlier consumed food is digested or not properly. Once it is assessed that food is properly digested, the yogas or kalpas can be administered. Now we want to explain about different virechaka kalpas. Akshamatram tayopindam viniyam amlena na pibet go avya aja mahisha mutra saviraka tushodakaihi prasannaya triflaya shrutaya cha pruthak pibet. Akshamatra tayo pindaha. Tayo means here both. If you are using any one of them, both of them has to be taken in akshamatra, that is one karsha. That kalka has to be properly mixed with viniya amlena, with amla dravyas, then it has to be consumed. So available amla dravyas. Go avika aja mahisha mutra, or it has to be mixed with go avika aja mahisha mutra, or else with saviraka tushodakaihi prasannayaha triflaya shrutaya. Means this one karsha matra of the kalka or the churna of this trivrut or shama has to be mixed with saviraka, tushodaka, prasanna, or with trifla kwatha, and it has to be administered for virechana karma. Then here explains about lavana kalpas. So this virechaka kalpas where the lavana is used as a pradhana sahaya dravya ekayikam saindavadinam dvadashanam sa nagaram. So this Trivrut Churna or Shama Churna in equal quantity of the lavanas, 12 types of lavanas, along with this Shunti Churna or Sanagaram, Tiruru Dvigana Sanyuktam. So with whatever the lavana and nagara you are taking, twice the quantity of that, the Trivrut Churna has to be taken. Churnam Ushnambunam Pibet. This mixture has to be consumed with the Ushna Chala. Means 12 Lavana yogas have been explained, 12 types of Lavana along with Shunti, and twice the quantity of those, the Trivrut or Shama Churna has to be mixed, and that has to be mixed with the Ushna Jala and has to be administered for Virechana Karma. So where these 12 types of lavanas have been explained is in case of Vimana sthana, lavana skanda, it has been explained. Saindava Savarchalaka, Bida, Pakya, and Pakyan Anupa, Kupya, Valukair, it goes on explaining. So these are the 12 types of lavanas. So you can see all these 12 types of lavanas in case of lavana skanda explained in the 8th chapter of Vimana sthana. So these 8 types of salt along with Nagara, that is Shunti, and twice the quantity of this churna, the Trivrut churna has to be taken and it has to be mixed with Ushna Jala and it has to be administered for effective purgation or Virechana karma. Pippali Pippali Moolam Maricham Gaja Pippali Saralaha Kilimam Hingu Bhargi Tejovati Tataha Mustam Hemavati Patya Chitrako Rajani Vachaha Swarnakskiri Ajamodacha Shringavera Chai Pruthak. See, this is the yoga where different all these Pippali Mula, Maricha, Gaja Pippali, all these dravas can be taken, has to be taken separately. Chataivacha Pruthak means all has to be taken separately. Ekaika Ardhamsha Sanyuktam means all individually has to be taken in half the quantity of Trivrut. So not in combination, individual Pippali Mula. So these all make separate kalpas. So these has to be taken in half the quantity of Tirurut Churna and that has to be mixed with Gomutra, Pibet Gomutra Sanyutam. So the Sahapana here is the Gomutra, one part of Tirurut Churna and half part of the any of the above said dravyas has to be taken and has to be mixed with gomutra and has to be administered. So if you see, most of these dravyas here, Pippali Moola, Maricha, Gaja Pippali, they are all Ushna, Tikshna, Pachaka and Deepaka in nature. So these all will be effective in case of Pitta Rechana or Virechana and along with if Kapha is there, Pitta Sthanagata Kapha is there or Kafanubandhi Pitta is there, in that condition, these yogas, because if you see the Sahapana, which is Gomutra, again, Gomutra is used for Kapha as a Sahapana. So by this we can infer that these all yogas which are can be used as Virechana purpose, where along with Pitta, Kapha is also aggravated. In that condition, these Virechaka kalpas are most beneficial and effective in nature. Madhuka Ardhamsha Sanyuktam Sharkarambum Pibet. So this Madhuka half the proportion and Trivrut Chuna one proportion. This has to be mixed with twice the quantity of Sharkara and added with Jala and it has to be consumed. Madhuka Ardha Amsha Sanyuktam Sharkara Ambuitam Pibet. So again, if you see Madhuka, which is Shita Virya, Sharkara, Madhura Rasa Pradhana, so definitely these are going to be helpful in Pitta Utkrishta, sorry, not Utkrishta, Pittotkarsha Avastha, where Pitta is excessively aggravated. In that condition, if it is given, it is going to help for Sukha Purvaka Virechana. Jivaka Vrishabhako Medha Shravani Karkatavyam Mudgamasha Machakya Paranaihi Cha Mahatim Shravani Tataha Kakoli Chira Kakolim Indram Chinna Ruhat Tataha Shira Shuklam Payasaha Cha Yashtyaham Vidina Pibet Vata Pitta Hitanetani Cha Kafa Anile. See now what he says, the Katha of Jivaka, Rushabaka, Meda, Shravani, etc. up to Kshira Shukla, Payasya, Cha Yashtyaha means Yashti Madhu. These, the Katha, among this Vidivat prepared Katha, the churna of Trivruta has to be added and has to be administered for Virechana purpose. As these are all having Shita, Viryata, etc. and these, if you administer, they are going to be helpful in Vata Pitta Janya Avasthas. Vata Pitta Hitan Anyatani to Kafanile. Even in the condition where Vata Pitta Pradhana Vadhi or Avastha is there, or in case of Kapha Anila Yukta Avasthas are there, and the Virechana is desired, in that condition, if these yogas are used, there will be an effective Virechana possible. Kshira Mamsa Ikshu Kashmarya Draksha Pilurasahi Pruthak. These 7 yogas, that is Kshira, Mamsarasa, Ikshurasa, Kashmara Rasa, Draksha Rasa, Pilurasa, Pruthak, Sarpishaha va Pruthak, means these above 6, and Ghruta, the 7th one, va Tayoshchurnam Abhyam Ardhamshikam Pibet. Mixed with these, the half part of the Trivrutchurna, means one part of Kshira, Mamsa, Ikshurasa, etc. Ardhamsha part means half the part of that thing, the Trivrutchurna has to be added, and if it is consumed, again it is going to helpful in Pitta, Vataja, Vikaras, because Kshira, Mamsa, etc. they are Vata Shamaka, and Ikshu, Kashmarya, Draksha, Pilu, etc. are Pitta Shamaka in nature. So in that condition, in Pitta Vataja Avastha, if you use these things, they will effectively help for Virechana and also for Vyadhi Harana. Lihad Madhu Sarpibhyam Sanyuktaha Sa Sitopalam. So this Trivrutchurna along with Madhu Sarpi and twice the quantity of Sitopala, mix it, and it has to be given for licking. Ajagandha Tugakshiri Vidari Sharkara Trivrut Churnitam Shaudra Sarpibhyam Lidva Sadhu Virechayat. Or else with Ajagandha, Tugakshiri, Vidari, Sharkara and Trivrut all taken in equal quantity. Churnitam Shaudra Sarpibhyam and mixed with Madhu and Ghruta if given for licking. So that will lead for sadhu virechate, means sukha purvaka samyak virechana will be attained by these above yogas. Sannipata jwarasthamba traha trushnardito naraha. In which condition he says is particularly in Sannipata jwara, Stamba, Daha and Trushnardita Rogis. In such condition, the above yogas or kalpas such as Madhu Sarpi, Sanyuktam, Sa Sitopalam, Liha, that is Lehana, or Ajagandhadi Dravyas, which is to be added with Shaudra and Sarpi, if it is given for Lehana, then they will be leading for smooth and proper Virechana in that patient. Shama Trivrut Kashayena Kalkena Cha Sa Sharkaram Sadhet Vidivalleham Lihat Panitalam Tat. Means first the Kashaya has to be prepared with the Shama Trivrut Moolas, then the Kalk of Shama Trivrut and twice the quantity of Sharkara. So here the Shama Trivrut Kalka, Sharkara and the Kashaya are to be mixed. Sadhet Vidivat Leham. It has to be subjected for Leha Paka, and when the Leha Siddhi Lakshanas are attained and that is ready for the administration, Panitalam Tat Prayochet. See here, if you say one Panitala means one Karsha Pramana, this avale has to be given. Sakshaudram Sharkaram Paktva Kuryat Mrudu Bhajane Nave Shipe Chite Trivrutchurnam Twakpatra Marichai Saha. So this Shama Trivrut, Kalka and Kwatha along with Shaudra and Sharkara, it has to be subjected for Paka in Mrut Bhajana, that is earthen pot, and once it is cooled down, Chipet Chite Trivrutchurnam Twakpatra Marichai Saha. So once it is cooled down, the Trivrutchurna, Twakpatra and Maricha are to be added. Matraya Lehad Etad Ishwaranam Virechanam. So if this is given in proper dosage as a Leha Yoga, Lehed Etad Ishwaranam Virechanam. Here you have to see two contexts. One is the addition of Twakpatra Maricha, what is the purpose of them? And second name is what is Ishwaranam Virechanam. So if you can understand this thing, then this kalpa can be effectively used. See, Twakpatradinam Saugandhya Matra Prayojanatvat. So here this Twakpatra etc. This thing along with Trivrutchurna which you are adding as a Prakshepaka Dravya, They are not having any therapeutic action over here, but only they are using as saugandhya matra prayojanatva. So to give a pleasant fragrance to the kalpa. Ishwaranam virechanamiti vachanena sukumaratvat snigdha vishetamasya darshayati. Now, wherever the term this Ishwaranam comes, you have to please consider that for the Sukumara and the Samyak Snigdha Purushas. So, in those people, if you administer this thing, it will be most beneficial. So, being Sukumaras and they can appreciate the fragrant medicines to make it more palatable and more acceptable, these Patra they are added as a Prakshepaka only to give the fragrance and flavor to the yoga. So they are not going to make any difference with the Virechaka effect. Kudamamshanam rasan ikshu draksha pilu parushakat Sitopala palam shaudrat kudavardham cha sadhet. One more layer has to be prepared where kudamamsham rasa ikshu draksha pilu parushakat means all one uh, kudava that totally makes four kudava the matra. Sitopalam palam one pala of sitopala has to be used. Shaudrat kudavardham cha sadhet half kuda of this is matras what we say the madhu has to be added cha sadhayet tam leham yoga chitam trivruchurnena shastravit. So once this leha become cooled it has to be added with the trivruchurna. Etad utsanna pittanam ishwaranam virechanam. Again he has been used the ishwaram virechanam, but what he has used is utsanna pittam. In Sukumara and Samyak Snigdha Purushas, Utsanna Pitta means the Pitta is already aggravated and it is ready to come out with very less efforts. In such conditions, if you give this avaleha, it helps for easy virechana and comfortable virechana. That is what he says. Utsanna pittinam udbhuta pittanam. That it is become ready to come out with very small efforts. So in that condition, means what it says is this kalpa, which is prepared by ikshurasa, draksharasa, pilu and parushakarasa, sitofala and shaudra. It is the one of the most mildest variety of virechana kalpas. Sharkara modakan varti gulikam mamsam pupakan. So this trivruchona which is processed with sharkara and with that the modaka, varti, gutika, mamsarasa, pupas has to be prepared. Anena vidhinam kuryat paitikanam virechanat. So here what you have to understand is paitikanam virechanam means definitely virechana is the karma for pitta dosha. But paitikanam here indicates the pitta prakopana in pittaja prakurti person. In pittaja prakurti person, the sharkara modaka, trivrut modaka, which is prepared by the help of sharkara, and they are converted into form of modaka, varti, gutika, mamsa, rasa, pupa, etc. The pathya kalpanas. If these are administered, they are going to go for proper virechana in pittaja prakurti person. But again, if you take another kalpa, Pippalim Nagaram Ksharam Shama Trivrutaya Saha. See, now it comes very specific thing. Pippali Nagaram Ksharam Ushna Tikshna these dravas are Shamam Trivrutaya Saha. Both the things are used. The Shama, which is Ashudoshahara, Tikshna, and Trivrat, which is Mrudu compared to them. So both of these are used here along with Pippali, Nagara, Kshara, which is also Kafachedaka, Bhedaka, Lehan, Madhunam, Sartaha. Again, this has to be subjected for Lehana along with Madhu. So Madhu is also Kafahara. Sardham, Shleshmalanam, Virechanam. So here, the Shleshmaja Prakriti, that is Kafaja Prakriti person, this Leha, where the Trivrut and Shama Churna, both along with Pippali, Nagara and Kshara is being mixed and prepared and that along with madhu, if it is subjected for lehanartha, that will help for sukha virechana in shleshmaja prakriti persons. See this one yoga again where kapha is more and the patient is sukumara, that is ishwaranam, that virechana kalpa is there. मातुलुंघाभ्याम धात्री श्रीपर्णी कोल दाढ़ीमात सुभ्रष्टान स्वरस स्वरसांस्तैले साधयेत् तत्र चावपेत् सहकारान् कपित्ता च मध्यमम्लं च यत् फलं पूर्ववद् अवलीभूते त्रिवृच्चूर्णं समापवपेत् त्वक्पत्र केशर एलानां चूर्णं मधु च मात्रयः लेह ayam kapapurnanam ishwaranam virechanam. That is matulunga abhaya datri shri parni kola, that is badara dadima etc. These swaras subhrashta taile, it has to be roasted or with the taila. Sadhet tatra cha avapet, and then the layer has to be prepared. Sahakarat kapittancha, some sahaya dravyas are added, that is kapitta madhyam amlam cha yat phalam. So here madhya is related with kapitha, that is kapitta madhya bhaga, the pulp of kapitta phala has to be added, and some people will consider madhyam amlam as amra phala madhya bhaga cha tat phalam, and some other people say amla phalam as jambiradi phala swarasa has to be added. So with these things purvad avali bhute means in the earlier process how the avalaya has to be prepared, the same process the avalaya has to be prepared when avaleha siddha lakshanas are available. Trivrut churnam samapavet, add with the trivrut churna in the proper proportion. Then later to add tvakpatra keshara elanam. So again this is where it is only for sugandha karaka, where it is used in sukumara rogis. So this avaleha, if consumed or given as lehana with madhu, kapha purnanam ishwaranam virechanam. In Sukumara people, where kapha has been increased, in that condition, if you use this, it will lead for sukha virechana. पानकानि रसान् यूषान् मोदकान् रागषाढवान् अनेन विधिना कुर्याद् विरेकार्थम कफादिके. If in case of kafadike is there and virechana has to be given, in that condition the panaka rasa, that is mamsa rasa, yusha, modaka, raga, shadava etc. processes has to be done. So these are the different pathya kalpanas: panaka, mamsa rasa, yusha, modaka, raga, shadava etc. With these pathya kalpas which are processed with the trivrut churna, if it is given, it is going to help for kuryat virekartham. So for sukha virechana, where kafadhikya avastha is there, in that condition these pathya kalpanas can be used for virechana. भृंगैलाभ्याम समम नीली तैस्त्रिवृत्तैश्च शर्करः चूर्णम फलरस शौद्र शक्तुभिस्तर्पणम पिबेत. Here bhrungailabhyam, what he says is bhrungah gudattvak, that is tvak has to be taken, ela in equal quantity, nilini 3 times of this and twice of these, and trivrut churna equivalent to the quantity of this ela and tvak and the nili, means 1 part each of tvak and ela, 2 parts of nilini mula and 4 parts of trivrut churna, and it has to be used with sharkara. The churna which has to be used with phalarasa shaidra shaktubhir tarpanam pibet, that is the phalarasas, amla phalarasas, shaudra, that is madhu, if it is given, it acts as a tarpana. and also act as a virechana. Where it is used is kapha pitta kaphotheshu rogeshu alpa analeshu. See, why it is said as amla phala rasides it is vata pitta kaphotheshu, meaning it is tridoshaja is there. Rogeshu alpa analeshu, where Agni has become manda, and in that condition you have to give virechana. So this tarpana prayoga has to be done. Nareshu sukumareshu nirapayam virechanam, and particularly where in case of sukumara purushas, this tarpana kalpokta virechana kalpa is nirapaya, means harmless in nature, so it can be safely and effectively administered for virechana in sukumara people. Sharkara trifala shama trivrut pippali makshikaihi modakam sannipata urdhva rakta pitta jwarapaham. The kalpa prepared with sharkara, trifala, that is haritaki, bibitaki, amlaki, shama and trivrut, all these ingredients with pippali makshikaha, or pippali, and administered with makshika, that is madhu. The modaka has to be prepared sannipataja vikaras urdhva rakta pitta jwarapaha. So in earlier Vamana Kalpas or the chapters, what you have discussed is wherever is rakta pitta advised. So in Vamana process, the rakta pitta has to be adhogata rakta pitta, whereas in Virechana it has to be urdhoga rakta pitta, that is pratimargam haranam rakta pitta bhidiyate. So here in Sannipata, Urdhva Rakta Pitta and Pittaja Jara, this kalpa is very useful. That is the modaka, which is prepared with Sharkara, Trifala, Shama, Vivrut, Pippali and Makshika, that is Madhu. The modaka has to be prepared, and this modaka in proper matra administered will be helpful in these conditions. त्रिवृच्छाणम मतास्त्रिस्त्रिश्च त्रिफलात्वचः विडंग पिप्पली शार शाणस्त्रिस्तश्च चूर्णितः, means three shana pramana, three of the shana, that is the trivrut has to be taken, atas trischa trifalatvachah. So all together trifala three shana and tvak one three shana. Vidanga pippali kshara shanas trischa. Vidanga pippali, that is and kshara, all in three shana pramana they has to be taken, means all equal. Trivrut churna three shana, trifala three shana, tvacha three shanas, vidanga pippali kshara all in three shanas equal proportion, and churna has to be prepared. Lihat sarpir madhubhyam cha modakam va gudena. If this churna is given for lehana with kruta and madhu, or if modaka has to be prepared with guda, so what he said is twice the guda has to be added and modaka has to be prepared. But very important thing what he said with this kalpa is bhakshayat nishpariharam etat shodhanam uttamam. So what is bhakshayat nishpariharam etat shodhanam uttamam? Means one thing it is uttama in shodhana, bhakshaye nishpariharam. So when this kalpa is given, there is no restrictions for any aharadi kalpas. So generally when we give shodhanas, we put the patient on restriction. But when this virechana is given, bhakshaye nishparihara. So this is very important, that without any particular dietetic recommendation, this virechana can be effectively administered. And where it can be administered is gulmam pliha udaram shwasa halimaka arochakam kafa vata krutantaschan anyan vyadhin upohatihi. See, in gulma, pliha, udara, shwasa, halimaka and arochaka, kafa vata krutancha anyan. So anya vikaras which are made up of kafa vata anubandhi Vyadhin etan upohati. So all the Vadis, those are formed by kapha vata along with gulma, pliha, udara, etc. those can be relieved by the above said kalpa of Trivrut. And again, the advantage of this kalpa is that with the use of this kalpa, there is no strict dietic recommendation to be followed. With the normal dietic condition also, the, this will lead for uttama shodhana and help in all these below mentioned conditions. Now it is Kalyanaka Guda. Vidanga Pippali Moolam Trifla Dhanyaka Chitrakan Maricha Indrayava Ajaji Pippali Hasti Pippalin Lavanan Ajamodamcha Churnitam Karshikam Pruthak. From Vidanga up to Ajamoda, all the drugs has to be taken in one Karsha Pramana. Tila Taila Triuruchurnam Bhagau Cha Ashta Palonmitaihi. Now, whatever the quantity of these dravyas, that is, which are taken in one karsha pramana, 8 times of that tila taila and triuruchona has to be taken. Then dhatri phala rasaprasthans trimshan gudardha tulan 3 pasta of dhatri phala swaras. The amlaki swaras has to be taken in 3 prastha and guda ardha tulam tataha. Ardha tula guda has to be added. So all these ingredients from Vidanga up to Ajamoda are to be taken in one Karsha Pramana, and whatever the quantity of that it becomes, 8 types of that quantity, Tila, Taila and Trivuruchona has to be added. Then for that 3 prastad of Dhatri Phalarasa and Ardha Tula Guda has to be added. Paktva Mrudvagnim. So it has to be subjected for Avaleha preparation, and once Avaleha Siddhi Lakshanas are there, Khadayet Badara Udumbaropamanam. So in the form of Badara Phala or Udumbara Phala Matra, that is 1 kola pramana, the modakas has to be prepared. Gudan Krutva Cha Atra Syad Viharanam Anyantranam. So here again, just like what it has been said in earlier shloka, bhakshet nishpariharaha. So there is no restriction on dietic factors. But here, gudan krutva nacha atra syad vihara ahara yantranaha. Now this Kalyanaka Guda, further it is more beneficial because whereas in earlier yoga, no restriction on dietic restricts, but here even in on viharas. Nacha atra syad vihara ahara yantrana means there is nothing very strongly restricted about any activities or the dietic things. So with comfort, a person can consume this Kalyanaka Guda and have the Virechana benefit. Where it is given, he says, is Mandagnitvam Jaram Murcha Mutra Krucham Arochakam Aswapnam Gatrashulam Cha Kasam Swasam Brahmam Kshayam Kushtarsha Kamala Moha Gulmodara Bhagandaran Grahani Pandurogascha Hantu Pumsamanascha Te. See, it is having a wide therapeutical utility and it is given very comfortably without any dietic or restriction in any of the day-to-day activities. This can be given for Virechana Karma, and more added thing is Pumsamanascha. So this is having the Pumsamana effect as well. Most of the time what we do is whenever we want Pumsamana effect, we take the help of Vajikarana processes or some very specific of Pumsamana Samskara. So, and for all those things, before doing anything, Shodhana has to be recommended. But this yoga itself is Shodhaka and Virechaka in nature, and along with that, it is having a wide therapeutical utility and one promotive property that Pumsamanascha means we can take it in a certain way that it may be acts as in case of male infertility, or even if it can be thought that it can be advised for Pumsamana Samskara for desired progeny. So any of the meaning can be taken. So definitely it is acting on Shukra Srotas and for making Utkrushta Shukra Dhatu. That is why it is called as Kalyanaka. It is Kalyanakari in nature. It can be used without any restriction, used in many of the therapeutic condition, and along with that it is having pumsamana effect as well. So that is why it is called as Kalyanaka iti khyataha. And one more additional feature attributed is Sarveshu Rutushu Yogikaha. So this Kalyanaka Guda can be given in any Rutus. So there is no restriction for any Rutus where this Kalyanaka Guda or Virechana should not be given. So why this Sarva Rutushu Yogikam has been mentioned specifically here is, see, I'm sorry that Chakrapani's commentary on this is been missing. So on Kalyanaka Guda, the Chakrapani commentary has been missed here. So in case of what he says is Hemante Ativa Shita Vayu Virechana is not advised. So Acharya says that in Hemanta Rutu Ativa Tivra Shita Vayu where Virechana should not be advised, but this can be given in Hemanta Rutu as well. So that is why it is called as Sarveshu Rutushu Yogikaha. So next yoga is one more Avaleha, so which is also having many of the drugs, and what he says is Yosha Twak Patra Mustai Vidanga Amalaka Abhaya etc. So it goes up to Mulakam. Bishagdadya Dvigunam cha Mulakam. Whatever the Yosha, Twak, Patra, Musta, all these you take, that you take in equal quantity, and Dvigunam, twice the quantity of this Mulakam. So here Mulaka is nothing but the Danti Mula has to be used twice the quantity of these ingredients. And for all this, Triuruto Ashtagunam Bhagam. So whatever the quantity of this yosha, twak, etc., twice that quantity, danti mula, that is mulaka, has to be used, and the entire quantity of this 8 times purut churna has to be taken. Bhagam sharkarascha shadgunam, and 6 times the quantity of those dravyas, the sharkara has to be taken. Churnam gudikam krutva shaudrena pala samitaha. So this churna or gutika which has to be done along with the kshaudra, that is madhu, pala samitam. In one pala it has to be consumed with one pala kshaudra. Bhakshet kalyamutthaya sheetam cha anu pibet jalam. So here clearly he said this guda or gutika or churna which is to be administered with the kshaudra has to be taken in the morning. Kalyamuttaya, in the early morning when the person wakes up from the sleep, Sheetam cha anu pibet chalam. This has to be taken with Sheeta Jala. And Sheeta Jala, because Kshaudra is there, it has to be taken with Sheeta Jala. Mutra kruche jware vamya kase shwase brahmekshaya tape pandavamaya alpe agno shastaha Niryantrana Ashinaha. Again, this also can be used without any dietetic restriction in all these above conditions, just like Mutra, Kruchra, Jwara, etc. Yogaha Sarva Vishanam cha Mataha Shreshto Virechane. In all the types of vishas, this Virechana is the Shreshta. Mutra Janam cha Roganam Viditnenan Avacharet. After saying earlier Mutra Krucha is mentioned, again he says Mutrajanam cha Roganam. Means all the vikaras whichever are related with Mutravaha Srotas, in that rogas, this Avaleha which is used here or mentioned here is very effective. Pathya Dhatri Urabakaranam Prasruto Dva Trivrit Palanam. So with Pathya, Dhatri, Urubaka, Kashayanam, Prasruto, Dau, Triurut, Palam. These in 2 parts and Triurut in 1 pala. Dasha Tan Modakan Kuryad Ishwaranam Virechanam. See, this Pathya, Dhatri, Urubaka and 2 times the Trivrut, this has to be mixed and modakas has to be prepared. So with these all content, Dasha Modakan Kuryat Ishwaranam Virechanam. And of means the dosage has been said that this all ingredients has to be mixed and equal 10 parts has to be done and one part has to be administered for Virechana. So that will lead for Kuryat Ishwaranam Virechanam means in Sukumara Purushas the Virecha can be effectively performed with this yoga. Trivrut Hemavati Shamam Neelini Hasti Pippali Samula Pippalim Mustam Ajamodam Duralavaha Karshikam Nagaram Palam Gudasya Palavimshatikam. See, Trivrut Hemavati Shama Neelini Hasti Pippali up to Duralavaha. Each has to be taken in one Karsha Pramana and Shunti Nagaram Palam, that is 4 pala of Shunti has to be taken, to which Gudasya Pala Vimshati, 20 palas of Guda has to be added. Then the churna has to be mixed properly. Modakan Kuryat Udumbara Falopamam. The modakas or the vatis has to be prepared in the form of Udumbara Phala Pramana. Then once it is done and it is still wet, Hingu Sauvarchala Yosha Yavani Bida Jirakaihi Vacha Ajagandha Dhatri Phala Chavya Chitraka Dhanyati. These are all the Prakshepaka Dravyas which are to be added to this Modaka. So how it has added is Modakan Veshtayas Churnastan Sa Tumbura Dadimaihi. So along with Tumbura and Dadimarasa, these churnas has to be spread on a surface and these wet modakas has to be rolled on the powder so that the entirely these modakas get covered with the churna. So that is how these prakshepaka dravyas are added to this modaka kalpa. And this modaka kalpa is particularly useful in virechana in the conditions whereas trik vankshana grahanyadi basti बस्ति कोष्ठ अर्षः प्लीहा शूनीनां हिक्का कास श्वास अरुचि कासारुचि श्वास कफोद वर्तिनाम शुभः. So means it is useful in Trik Vankshana Pradesha Shula, Basti Shula, Koshta Shula and Arshas, Hikka Aruchi, Shwasa, Kapha and Udavarta Vikaras. Shubha means it is very good. So this modaka which is prepared by Triphala, Hemavati, Shama etc. This is having effective virechana in these above condition and these condition will be relieved with this yoga. Now this is one more yoga. Some importance of these yogas here is Trivrutam Kutajam Bijam Pippalim Vishwa Bhejanam Shaudra Draksha Rasa Upetam Varshasvetu Virechanam. See, Trivrut Kutaja Bija, that is Indrayava, Pippali Vishwa Bheshajam, that is Shunti, Shaudra Draksha Rasopetam, along with Draksha Rasa and Madhu, if you are administering, it is best Virechakadravya in Varsharatu. Varsha Svetad Virechanam. So here up to 56 to 60 shloka, Rutu Virechana has been explained. The yogas with Rutu Virechana. The first one is with Varsha Rutu. Second, Jaladataye means Sharad Rutu. Then Hemanta, Grishma, etc. That we'll see. Trivrut Duralabham Musta Sharkara Udicha Chandanam Drakshambunam Sayashtavam Satalam Jaladataye. Means Trivrut Duralabha Musta Sharkara Udicha Chandana along with Drakshambu, that is Draksharasa, Sayashtyamva Satalam, with Yashti and Satala This yoga is best effective in the Rutu, which is said here as Jaladataya, means the commentary said it is Sharad Rutu. So this yoga, which is from Trivrit up to Yashti and Shatala, that can be used in this particular Rutu. Trivrutam Chitrakam Patam Ajajim Saralam Vacham Swarnakshirim cha Hemante Pistvatu Ushnambunam Pibet. Trivrut along with Chitraka, Patha, Ajaji, Sarala, Vacha, Swarnakshiri, these all together to be powdered and it is to be mixed with Ushnambu and administered for Virechana, and that too in particularly Hemanta Rutu. Sharkara Trivruta Tulyaha, Sharkara and Trivrut in equal quantity, Grishma Kale Virechana. Very simple. The Trivrut Churna with equal quantity of Sharkara, it has to be best useful in Grishma Rutu. Trivrutyan Hapushaha Satalam Katu Rohinyam Swarnakshirim cha Sanchurnam Gomutre Bhave Trayham. So Trivrut, Hapusha, Satala, Katurohini, Swarnakshiri, etc. has to be taken, they have to be powdered and they have to be subjected for bhavana for 3 days with Gomutra. So with this yoga which is used, Yesham Sarva Rutu Ko Yoga Snigdhanam Mala Doshavrut. So this last yoga from 59 up to 60th shloka, the yoga has been said is it can be used in Sarva Rutus. So one here is Varsha Rutu, Sharad Rutu, Hemanta Rutu and Grishma Rutu. So 4 Rutus have been mentioned, but remaining 2 Rutus have been not mentioned with Rutu Virechaka yogas. So there Chakrapani says that the last yoga which has been said as Sarva Rutu Ko Yoga, that can be applied over there. So what he says is Sarva Rutu Ko Yoga Anukte Rutau Vasantadau Che Deha. So the 2 Rutus which are not been mentioned with specific Rutu Virechaka Kalpas, there the last Kalpa can be considered for the remaining 2 Rutus. So with this there are 6 yogas, but here we are going to see 5 yogas, 4 specific with Varsha, Sharad, Hemanta, Grishma, Shishira and Vasanta have not been mentioned with specific Virechaka Kalpas. So that can be understood with the last Kalpa where Yesham Sarvarutu Ko Yoga means this yoga can be used in all the Rutus round the year and it can be effectively preserved. If preserved effectively, then there will be one Kalpa which is readily available to administer for Virechana Karma in all the Shad Rutus of the year. See, Trirut Shamam Duralabham Vatsakam Hasti Pippalim Nilini Trifala Mustam Katukam Cha Suchunitam Trirut Shama Duralabha Vatsaka etc. Nilini Trifala Musta Katuka, they are all to be finely powdered. Sarpir Mamsa Rasa Ushnambu Yuktam Panitalam Tataha. So either with Sarpi, Mamsa Rasa or Ushna Jala. In Panitala means 1 Karsha Pramana, if they are consumed, Pibet Sukatamam Hi Etad Rukshanamapi Shasyate. See, this one yoga is very important. So this yoga, if it is consumed along with Sarpi, Mamsa Rasa or Ushna Jala in 1 Karsha Pramana, definitely it is going to provide Samyak Virechana Lakshanas. But what he says is Pibet Sukatamam Hi Etad Rukshanamapi Shasyate. But at the very beginning, what the property of Shama Trurut has been said? Ruksha, Ati Ruksha, due to Ati Rukshata, it is pavana prakopi or vata kopinaha. So, but in case of ruksha etc. conditions as well, the dravya which is ruksha, if it is used with sarpi, mamsarasa etc., so it can be effectively induce woman virechana karma and not also aggravate the rukshata in the sharira. त्रिभूषणम त्रिफलाहिंगुम कार्षिकम त्रिवृत्पलम सौवर्चलम अर्धकर्षम च फलार्धम च आम्लवेतसाम. that is त्रिभूषण त्रिफलाहिंगु in karsha pramana, trivrutchona in one palamatra, sauvarchalam ardhakarsham, that is half karsha of sauvarchana lavana, palardham cha amlavetasam, half pala amla vetasa, तच्चूर्णम शर्करा तुल्यम मध्येन आम्लेन वा पिबेत. So this churna along with equal quantity of sharkara, so if it is mixed with madhya or amla dravya and administered gulma parshvartin anusiddham jirne cha adyat rasa odhanam. So in case of gulma parshvarti etc., administer this and siddham jirne. So when the jirna lakshanas are appeared, cha adyat rasodhanam. So once the jirna lakshanas are appeared, then give the rasa odhanam. That is mamsa rasa and odhana has to be given for the as a diet in this condition. त्रिवृतां त्रिफलां दन्ति सप्तलां योष सैंधवम कृत्वा चूर्णं तु सप्ताहं भाव्यम आमलिक रसेहे तद योजनम तर्पणे यूषम पिशिते राग युक्तिषु. त्रिफला त्रिफला दंती त्रिवृत त्रिफला दंती सप्तला योश एंड सैंधव कृत्वा चूर्णम all equal quantity make the churna saptaham bhavyam amalike rase. So for 7 days it has to be subjected for bhavana with amalika swarasa. Tad yojanam tarpane, and this yoga has to be used in the form of tarpana with yusha, pishite means mamsarasa, raga that is patya, one more patya kalpana, yukti shuhu. With proper yukti, if the above kalpa is used as tarpana in the form of yusha, mamsara, rasa, raga etc., that is also helpful in inducing proper purgation or virechana. तुल्याम्लं तिरुरुत्कल्क सिद्धम गुल्महरम घृतम श्यामा त्रिवृत्योर्मूलम पचेद आम्लकै सह जले तेन कषायणम पक्त्वा सर्पिः पिबेद नराम. So here two different ghruta kalpas have been said. Tulyam amlam trivrut kalka siddhihi. This trivrut kalka along with amla dravyas has to be subjected for ghruta preparation. So that will be helping for gulma harana. Shama trivrut yormulam pached amlakai saha. The churna of shama and trivrut along with amlakai swarasa, if it has been subject for pachana, jale tena kashayena paktva sarpim pibet. So added with shama trivrut churna, amalaki kashaya or kalka swarasa, sorry, swarasa and jala tena kashayena paktva. With these all kashayas, if ghruta siddhi is done and it is administered, श्यामा त्रिवृत कषायेन सिद्धम सर्पिम पिबेत ततः साधितम वा पयस्ताभ्याम सुखम तेन विरेचेत. Or the ghruta or the kshira which is prepared by trivrut or shama trivrut churna, that is also sukha virechaka. So here this ghruta and kshira which are being prepared, again that can be understood that these can be administered in vata anubandhi or vata associated condition where these will pacify vata along with virechana karma. त्रिवृम मुष्टिस्तु स नख मुष्ट्यौ द्रोणे अंबसा पचेत पादांश शेषम कषायम तु पूतम गुड तुलायुतम स्निग्धे स्थाप्यम घटे शौद्र पिप्पली फल चित्रकैः प्रलिप्ते मधुना मांसम जातम तन्मात्रया पिबेत. See, त्रिवृत मुष्टिस्ततः तु स नखा अष्टौ means त्रिवृत चूर्ण of antarnaka mushti स nakhaष्टौ. So 8 such quantities antarnaka mushti pramana त्रिवृत चूर्ण of 8 quantities. द्रोणो द्रोणे ambasah pachet. Ashtadrona jala, that is water has to be taken in 8 drona pramana, then it has to be subjected for paka or heated. Padashesham kashayam, when the kwatha becomes prepared with 1/4 quantity remaining, tam putam, it has to be strained. Guda tulayutam, 1 tula of guda has to be added. स्निग्धे स्थाप्यम घटे शौद्र पिप्पली कल्क चित्रकैः प्रलुप्ते मधुना मांसम जातम तन्मात्राम पिबेत. See, this above kashaya, which has to be put into one earthen pot and which has been smeared in the inner side with snigdha dravya, and it has been pasted with shaudra pippali falachitraka lepa. स्निग्धे स्थाप्याम घटे शौद्र पिप्पली फल चित्रकैः प्रलिप्ते madhunam, along with madhu, this kashaya, whatever has been prepared earlier in this above shloka, masam jatam tan matraya pibet. So what it says here is the sandhana karma process has been advised here. So the trivrut kashaya, which is prepared earlier, 8 times the antarnaka mushti pramana of trivrut churna and 1 drona jala, which is subjected for kashaya till padamsha shesha, and when it is strained and 1 tula guda is added, this becomes sandhana yogya dravya, and it has to be put into a pot or a vessel. So where the inner side is pasted with shaudra pippali phala chitraka, and before that the inner surface of the pot is made snigdha by sneha dravya. In that, along with madhu, the kashaya has to be kept for 1 month for sandhana karma. Masam jatam, once after 1 month, proper sandhana has been done and the sandhana kalpa is prepared, tan matraya pibet, it has to be consumed in the matra. So where grahani pandu rogagnam gulma shvayatu nashanam. So this is going, this sura or the sandhana kalpa is going to relieve grahani panduroga gulma shvayatu etc. Suram va trivrutta yogikinvam tat kwatha sanyuktam. The sura has to be prepared with the kwatha of this trivrut and kinva, which are to be combined and has to be subjected. This is second type of sandhana kalpa. The earlier one is first type of sandhana kalpa, and the second type, the sura which has to be prepared, is trivruta yoga kinvanam, kinva and trivrut kashaya tat kwathya sanyuktam. So the kwatha and kinva has to be mixed and subjected for sandhana for 1 month, and once it is formed properly, again it has to be removed and consumed in proper quantity. So that will help for samyak virechana. यैव श्यामा त्रिवृक् क्वाथस्विन्नैः शवैः श्यामा त्रिवृक् क्वाथस्विन्नैः कुलमाशम अम्बसः. So the yava along with shama trivruk kwatha and jala has to be subjected for paka. Asutya shadham palle jatam savvirakam pibet. When the kwatha of trivrut is boiled along with yava, that the final product is subjected for uh, what we call for sandhana for 6 days. Shadaham palle jatam savvirakam pibet. And this is yava which is converted into savviraka as a sandhana kalpa. Bhrustan va satushan chuddvan yavastas churna sanyutam asutan ambasaha tadvat pibet jatam tushodakam. So here he explains what is savviraka and what is tushodaka. Savirika is nothing but the sandhana kalpa which is prepared by Yava, Kulatha and Masha, which are boiled in water. But now this Savirika preparation along with Shama Triuruk, we have to add the Shama Triuruk Patha and the Jala. They have to be boiled together. When the proper reduction happens, it has to be strained and it has to be subjected for sandhana for 6 days. Shadham Palle means Palle here, it has to be kept in Dhanya Rashi. So after 6 days, the Savirika is properly formed and that Savirika has to be removed and to be administered. The second, how the Tushodaka is prepared, he says, Bhrustanva Sa Tushan Shudvan means the Yava which should not removed from the separated the husk from it. So along with the husk, the Yava has to be roasted. Yavastas churnan sanyutan. And such roasted yava has to be powdered. And that powder, asutyan ambasam tadvat pibechatam tushodakam. So this powder, the satusha yava which is roasted, powdered, this has to be mixed with the jala and shama turic kwatha and subjected for sandhana for 6 days, just like Saviraka. And after 6 days, Pibet Jatam, when proper Tushodaka is formed, that has to be administered for proper Virechana. And he says, Tatha Madana Kalpoktan Shadavadinam Prutak Dashaha Triuruchunena Sanyojya Virekartham Prayojaye. So just like Badara Shadava, Raga, Leha, Modaka, Utkarika, Tarpana, Shaka, Mamsarasa, Yusha Madhyanam, Iti Grantena, Madana Kalpoktaha. So the Dasha Shadavadi yogas, just similar to how it has been explained in Madana Phala Kalpa Adhyaya, same thing here also 10 yogas with Shadavadi and Triuruchuna combination has to be used for Virechana purpose. Just a minute, I will be just getting out of this presentation as I have some administrative work. So have a good day, take care and be safe.
ಇದು ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ ಡೂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್ ಕೀ ಮಾಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಸ್
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rahul Kulkarni, sir, for your wonderful session, sir. You have enriched our knowledge with your practical experiences along with. Thank you for this wonderful session, sir. And I thank principal sir and HOD sir and all the staff members and the UGs, PGs, viewers who are constantly supporting this program. Thank you one and all. Tomorrow again we will meet at the same time in this webinar series. Thank you, sir.